So Pam, it's 4:30. We'll go whenever you're ready.
We've got a couple more people that I'm admitting, and then we should be good to go.
Take your time. Do you know who you have admitted?
Greg Post.
Hi, Jay. Hi, Greg.
Okay, if you are ready to start your meeting, I think we're all set.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, and I will begin with a bit of a roll call, at least of the members of the committee, so that Pam knows we're here. Greg Torrey,
Here.
Gary Meha,
Here.
John DeLeo.
Here.
Is that good enough, Pam?
It is, thank you.
And then do you know who else we have on the call, Pam? I mean,
Some folks I know. In terms of other legislators, we have Legislator Hiltzy, Yunker, Clattenburg, Stein, and I think that's it.
okay, and I see Jay and Greg Post and Linda, Diana.
And Legislator Hiltzy.
Awesome. Okay, so everybody knows who's here. You're okay then with the roll call? You know where everybody's at?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to begin with the approval of the minutes for March 2nd, 2020. I believe everybody received a copy.
Yes.
Thank you, Gary, for the motion. Greg, thanks for the second. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Well, we got through our first one. The minutes are approved. Wasn't easy, but we'll get better. Mental health director, Linda.
Yes, good evening. Can you see and hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
I can.
great. So this is a resolution for calling on the governor to shift the proposed 100% cost of restoration for individuals who need competency to be restored for charges. Currently, the counties have been paying 50% of this cost, with the other 50% being paid for by the state. And this is really just at the request of the Conference of Local Mental Hygiene Directors to reconsider that this shift not go to 100% of the county. In the resolution, you can see what we've budgeted over the last couple of years for restoration. This 2020 budget, we've allocated $60,000, but as you can see from the numbers, paying 100% of the cost would be a significant cost to the county. And the duration for restoration is approximately 103 days at about $1,000 a day. And that's in the OMH world. The OPWDD world is could be significantly longer. So this is really just a resolution to, at the request of the conference, to be able to publicly speak about maybe shifting this.
I'll move it.
Second. We lose you, Andrew?
Yep, I think we did lose him for a minute. I'll step in with a first and a second on that. Comments or questions for Linda?
No.
No, thank you for putting it together.
I would take a vote, please, the members. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Carried. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Be well.
Okay, thank you. You too. Stay well, everybody.
Thank you.
Do we have Andrew back yet?
I don't see him.
Okay. Next on the agenda is Diana.
Hi,
How are you?
good. The sound is really cutting out for me. I hope you can hear me better than I can hear you.
I believe we can, Diana.
Okay, great. This is a company that we had put out for bid to be able to do a contract with for putting the stair lifts and wheelchair lifts into homes. And then it's the same company to be able to do some of the bathroom modifications as well. Both of these contract funds are coming from the ISIP dollars, the additional funding that came from the state. And there is no additional cost to the county. It's already been from previous matching funds, and will just be incorporated into the lines that we have under ISEP and unmet needs.
Move it.
Second.
For the first and a second, are there comments or questions, please?
Diana, do you have any clients who are putting in for this yet?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Do you have any clients who are requesting this yet?
They're requesting this?
Yes, any clients requesting the wheelchairs or the bathroom work be done?
We do. We do have clients that are needing and requesting to have lifts, and also to have some of the modifications in their bathrooms, say from going from a bathtub into a shower.
Thank you.
Diana, question, do you have the funds in hand for this contract?
Say that again. Do we have the funds? What?
Do you have the funds in hand for this contract? Do we already have the dollars?
Yes, we already have the funds.
Further comments, questions? I don't hear any, so I would ask for a vote. All those in favor, please?
Aye.
And opposed? That's carried. Diana, you have a second resolution.
And it's the same company, and it's to be able to do the modifications for the bathrooms.
You have a motion, please?
Same situation with the funds.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That resolution is carried. Thank you, Diana. Thanks for your work in making sure
you.
that folks get their meals and their daily checks. It's important. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
We'll go on to Youth Bureau. Jocelyn, please. Is Jocelyn on? Jay, are you there?
You muted, Jay.
I do not see Jocelyn on for this meeting at the time.
Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, this is a plan that the Department of Social Services and the Youth Bureau put together and submit to the state. Earlier today, Jocelyn was attempting to confirm that the actual funding in the current state budget is still there and has not been affected. To the best of our knowledge, that is the case, and we should be able to go forward with this resolution. Should that not be the case, tomorrow, or excuse me, on Wednesday, you can reverse this resolution.
So may I have a motion and a second, please? or
I'll move
not?
it.
Thanks, Greg.
Second.
Second.
Gary, comments or questions? So Jay, my question is, in the resolve, could we add that the last line of the budget impact statement be put into the resolve, that all payments to the programs are subject to the availability of state aid?
Absolutely.
Agreed.
John, would that be a motion to amend the resolution, please?
Yes, agreed.
Shelley, this is Andrew. How are you?
I'm great. It's yours.
Well, I'm just on phone right now, so if you could continue for one more minute till I can get on video-wise. I just wanted to make a comment.
Yep,
There is language in the resolution itself that covers what you wanted. It's fine to add that. I'm just saying that it is in the resolution as well.
it's in the whereas, right?
Yes.
But not
Correct.
resolve.
Okay, I'm sorry. Good. I'm working on getting on video here, so just give me another minute, and thank you for taking over.
No worries. So as soon as Andrew joins us, I think we have a motion and a second for the amendment to the resolution, or to the resolved on this resolution number 4. Pam, is that correct?
I did not hear the second for the amendment. I heard John Delio made a motion to amend. Who was the second?
I'll second it. I don't think there was one either.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Greg. So I'll take a vote on the amendment, please. All those in favor of the amendment to the resolution, to the resolve, signify with an aye vote.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then a motion to accept resolution number 4 as amended, please.
I move it.
Second.
Carrie, John, thank you. Further comments or questions? All those in favor signify with an aye vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Andrew, are we back?
Not yet, but momentarily.
Okay. Resolution number 5 is for a salary schedule amendment, Department of Social Services. Mr. Rumsey, are you on with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this salary schedule amendment, I know there's a freeze for new hiring, but we wanted to move forward with it anyhow. It's for approval of a 1 full-time CSEA grade 9 housing coordinator. This position would replace the current individual who just retired last Friday, who was actually a caseworker at a grade 15S. He was actually probably working lower than his title. As you can see by the memorandum of support, this is a fairly important position due to the fact that we still deal with homelessness in the county, and there is definitely a need to fill the position. The reason we're moving forward at this time is just so that whenever we could get back to somewhat normalcy, we can hopefully pursue it and get that position filled. We will be eliminating an unfilled childcare worker CSEA grade 8 position with a controlled number of 189-001. Let's see, the higher rate for the position is $30,968 salary, $26,891 fringes. The anticipated higher rate for the grade 9 position, I'm sorry, the number I just gave you was the grade 8. The higher rate expenses for the grade 9, which we're looking to create, is $32,717 with the fringes of $27,952. It's currently not budgeted, but we do foresee having the difference of $2,810 available due to positions, a shortfall between positions that we have for the 2020 budget. And then moving forward in 2021, we will add it to the services budget. It is state and federal reimbursed range between 66 and 100% as determined by the eligibility. So that is my request.
Okay. Is there a motion from anyone to move this forward?
I'll make that motion.
I'm not hearing anything.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Comments and questions, discussion, please.
I have to apologize. I'm not hearing anything. I see everybody talking, but I'm not hearing anything.
So I just asked for comments, questions. I would ask Jay, if you could please, or Matt, please talk about how this would be one of those decisions that would go through the manager's office per our salary and hiring freeze, please.
That's exactly what we're looking at in terms of talking to each of the departments as to delaying or deferring any new hires right now, even for existing positions. There are approximately 6 vacancies presently full-time in the Department of Social Services. But again, we're looking at this in terms of what could happen with the state budget being adopted and some serious dislocations with regard to funding and reimbursement across the board, even in our mandated services. But again, this is something we're tracking in the manager's office. Tammy and Matt in particular have been looking at each of the departments in our contingency plans.
So Jay, we're not sure that this is going to be reimbursed for 2021. Is that correct?
Gary, what we're not sure of is what the reimbursement percentage would be. We would anticipate that, as has been the case in the past, there has been some state reimbursement. The problem is that right now, with a $15 billion state budget gap, all bets are off as to continuity of any reimbursement to local governments.
Are there any other comments or questions?
Is this a position, Dave, you need right away, or can it wait?
Dave,
He may not be able to hear you, Gary.
Dave Rumsey, the question from Legislator Mayha is this a position that you need filled right away or one that could wait, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I did hear Gary. If you ask my director of programs, it is a position due to our homelessness that we probably do need right away, but we could probably, based on the situation going on, we could probably live without it at this point.
So a question that I have is there another worker that might be able to backfill this for just a little while until we can better understand the state budget? Dave, did you hear my question?
I did. Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Okay. Sorry. I guess I didn't push the button down hard. So, I mean, obviously we have a number of staff. We can certainly look at that. We don't have anybody that can step into the role, but we can certainly look at what we have and work on that position internally.
I think we should table at this point in time based on our situation.
Is there a second for the table?
Second.
Then I believe according to our rules that this now stays tabled until it's brought back off of the table by this committee.
I think you still need to vote.
Jay, I did not understand you.
I think you still need to vote on the tabling motion. You just can't debate it or discuss it anymore.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of the motion to table signify with an aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
The motion has been tabled. Thank you, Dave.
Shelley,
Yes?
I can't get back on here for some reason, so if it's okay, if I'm allowed to, I could continue on via voice. You just won't see me. Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, you're doing such a fine job. I kind of just wanted to sit back and open a beer and let you do it, you know? We'll go with Public Health Director Paul Pettit now. Paul, are you with us?
I am. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, thank you.
All right, perfect. So I do have three formal resolutions for consideration today. The first one is a memorandum of agreement with the New York State Department of Health, the AIDS Institute, Bureau of HIV and STD Field Services. They reached out a little while ago. They have an employee, I believe it's a Genesee County resident, that works out of the Buffalo and Rochester field offices. And they were looking for a place to potentially have them, I guess, for all intents and purposes, squat periodically to do some different office work instead of having to drive into either one of the offices. We have identified a space that the person could sit. There's no related expenses to this resolution. It's MOA. Essentially, it's a place for them to work out of. They'd be using the Wi-Fi and using their own cell phone. So I guess we're looking for permission to allow that.
Got a motion from, thank you, Greg and Craig. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And those that are opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. The second one is a new contract with Well Now Urgent Care. We've reached out to them as another option to send folks to for post-exposure treatment for rabies prophylactics when they're exposed to a potentially rabid animal. We currently have an agreement with the Jerome Center, UMMC, for this, and this just gives us another place to send folks to for a little more, opportunity to spread it around and also, utilize other folks. Same reimbursement or same cost per se, 125 and 30. This gives us another location to use.
I'll move it.
Second.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Greg. Any discussion in regard to this? Hearing no discussion, we'll vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
And those that are opposed? None opposed. That will carry.
All right, thank
Next
you.
one, Paul, one more.
Yeah. And the last one is a contract with ACM Global Laboratory, again, with all the enhanced COVID-19 swabbing that, well, frankly, we're hoping to do when we get the swabs. ACM is a lab we have not currently agreement with in place with, and they are one utilized for the testing. So we're putting this agreement in place with them as an option for us, again, to send swabs to when we have that capacity.
So moved.
Thank you, John. Second from Greg. Thank you, Greg. Discussion in regard to that.
Can I just ask a question to Paul?
Sure thing.
Yeah, Paul, I'm hearing on Fox Business that there's a new swab that they can detect in 5 minutes. You heard anything about that?
Yeah, so, we hear every day about different types of swab kits and different formulations and how this swabbing can be done. And what you're referring to there is similar to like flu, it's a rapid test. So that is something that I know they've been working on. Again, it's not widely available at the moment, but obviously the hope is that any way we can increase our swabbing capacity, and if there's a rapid one that we can do, obviously that's even better yet. I have a feeling though it's going to be a little bit of time before we start to see that widely available. And again, we're very supportive of that and other ways that we can get swabbing capacity here locally so that we can get a better handle on the true impact.
One other question.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, are supplies in the hospitals in our area, are they sufficient at this time?
For the swabbing kits?
For the swab and mask and such like that, would you know?
Yeah, no, we still are having shortages. We're still getting calls. Obviously, the PPE, et cetera, those requests are going through emergency management. And, we talked about that a little bit earlier today on a couple different calls. Some stuff has started to flow. But overall, there's still a significant shortage of various things around masks and gloves and aprons and such things. So, Tim over at EMO continues to work on that order. The state system, I guess, imploded as far as the requests that we were putting in. So now it's going to be more, we have to call and, instead of putting these daily requests in. So it's kind of a moving target with that, but no, I would say there still is insignificant, PPE available throughout the community, again, in all of our high-risk nursing homes, other type of facilities that need the masks, gloves, and aprons, et cetera. As far as the swabbing goes, again, I would say that we don't have what we need. Again, there is better swabbing going on in some of the healthcare systems for, again, our screened patients, our high-risk folks, the elderly, the immune compromised, those folks. But we would like to get to a point where there's widespread availability for anybody that's symptomatic to be able to be swabbed if indicated, right? So anybody with respiratory illness, similar like a flu screening, they can just go get tested for flu. We're not at that point, and I don't think we're anywhere near that point yet, because again, there's such a waiting list for these swabs. So there is adequate testing to some extent for those that are in those high risk categories when screened, but that's not where we need to be in order to get a handle on the impact community-wide.
Thanks, Paul.
The governor mentioned in his press conference today that they have a stockpile of the PPE in Albany, but they're waiting for the Apex, and that's when they're going to get it out.
Yeah. Well, we hear a lot of different things of where it is and where it's been pushed and downstate. I know that they seem to have a lot more down there than we have up here. We just continue to scream and holler and say we need it, PPE and the swabbing kits, and we're still waiting. So we're kind of all in this boat together in the whole Western region. It's not just here, it's all the Finger Lakes, all the Western New York.
I'm going to stop us there for a minute and vote on this, and then I would like to just open it up for a minute if there's other questions. Not to put you on the spot, Paul, but let's vote on number 3 here. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? It carries. So again, Paul, if you wouldn't mind just accepting questions from the committee. You've been running and gunning, and of course, don't have a lot of time to be updating us. And I know that we're all watching the briefings, and we had some bad news today. But just if anyone has thoughts or questions or wanted to clear anything up, I'm sure Paul will be able and capable of doing that.
Absolutely.
I think your press conference pretty much answered all my questions.
Yeah.
Good. How about the support of the committee? Do you need anything from us? Is it anything lacking that we can assist you in? And I know you're probably lacking in a few things that we can't, but what else could we do to be supporting your efforts here?
Yeah, no, thanks, Andrew. No, I believe, what you guys are doing and have been doing and just the support and continuing to, share the information with your constituents when you see them in the community around the importance of adhering to the guidance and the guidelines that's out there, taking things seriously. And we need to really, again, focus on protecting our most vulnerable populations with this. So the more you can do that in your back in your districts, obviously the better. And, we're, as far as things we need, Jay and Matt and the county manager's office have been great working with other departments around, identifying folks that can come over and help us if we start to get buried so far with contact tracing and helping to man our phone lines and deal with calls from the public. So I think we have a great synergy going around working collaboratively here and to, address and meet the needs, hopefully, as we move forward.
Again, personally, and as a member of this committee, you're doing a great job. I would consider the work you're doing amazing, and the people that work for you, and we thank you for that. Again, anything we can do, make sure you let us know.
Will do.
Also, I might add that you both, all of you just received Tim Yeager's daily written report. Paul put his out earlier. There's a lot of detail in there. We're also having Monday and Friday phone conferences between Genesee County and Orleans County with regard to administrative staff, but also the emergency responders that Tim and Paul are coordinating. So we're trying to put together a lot of information and facts and deal with those situations as they arise.
Great. Once again, we don't want to get in your way, but if there is something we can do, that's great. And Jay, thanks for all your leadership here and your help in regard to what's going on.
Andrew, one more question, if I may.
Sure.
Just to Paul, I just didn't know if, what we just approved with this new laboratory, will this help with the speed of tests? I have an example. I'm on with an employee family member. It's day 11 today, and they still have not heard. So tomorrow will be day 12 on a test result. I didn't know if maybe this will help speed or if there's anything new.
Well, the short answer is no. And obviously we chatted there, Christian, and I'm as frustrated as you are with these results coming in as slow as they are. You know, we just don't have an agreement with ACM at the moment, so this will open us another avenue for us. We do know UMMC and many of our community providers already use ACM as a reference lab. So it's not like it's going to open up a new venue globally speaking. It just allows us to utilize them. It's unfortunately not going to speed anything up. The only thing that's going to do that is additional labs coming online, and that's really been moving very slow compared to what we'd like to see.
Thank you.
Yep.
Paul, thank you again.
Okay, take care, everybody. Be safe and
Thanks,
be
Paul.
well.
You too.
Bye.
Jay, you got something for us, right?
Yes, sir. You have the agreement with regard to the Chamber of Commerce. Let me make sure I'm on the right page, the right time. Again, with the Business Education Alliance in the form of Karen Winter, and also with regard to a multi-year agreement that we've had in place going back at least 10 to 15 years.
Motion for discussion.
So moved.
Thank you, John.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. So my first question just would be, and of course, I'm a big supporter of the Business Education Alliance. I guess it's to you, Jay. Are these things that we should be committing to at this point in time? I mean, this being a small one, I understand, but are these things we should be holding off on until we know what the heck's going to be happening with our budget over the next, how long,
It's
who knows how long we'll know?
It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, Andrew. Obviously, with regard to this kind of program, involves a lot of the summer programs that are going on around the various parts of the county with regard to introducing students into the potential work environment. This is going to be something that, as this pandemic passes, is going to be also vital for the workforce, introducing the young people to the next levels of the workforce and their participation. It is obviously a nominal sum, and realistically, the rest of the funding for this, if it falls apart, then obviously we wouldn't be spending this money either.
Again, I don't disagree with that, and I guess I just wonder what we're going to do about larger ones that come across our desk over the next few weeks, and maybe we handle them as they come, right?
And it's that to a certain extent, and obviously within the next 3 to 5 days, when we see the New York State budget, immediately we start breaking down how it impacts each and every piece of county funding. And those are the things that we'll be committing to and presenting to you literally as we find out.
Okay. Other questions for Jay in regard to the BEA funding? Hearing none, we'll vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? So that'll carry with a unanimous vote.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pam, you got something for us?
Your next meeting is May 4th.
And who knows how we'll be doing that, but maybe on Zoom again, right?
That may be.
Okay, we'll figure that out as the days go by.
Just hum to yourself Aretha Franklin's song, Who's Zooming Who?
Fair enough. Other questions, comments, anything for the good of the committee or the county?
Everybody stay safe.
For sure. Motion for dismissal.
So moved.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Greg. I see you nodding your head. All those in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Thank you all. Sorry about my technical issues. I'm going to see if I can't get that fixed.
We're all dealing with it, Andrew.
Thank you. Makes me feel a little better. Have a good day, guys.
Hey, Jay, you still there? You are on 2 different ways.
I can't hear you because one of yours muted, but I just wanted to,
Yeah, I could not hear through the computer. I can see you, but I cannot hear you except through my phone. And so we had that same problem. So Steve Zimmer and company are working on a solution, but it's not easy in this building at the present time.
that's why we were getting all that feedback.
That's why. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks, Jay. See you Wednesday.